For this video, I just kind of want to go over the recent episode that came out, Tougen Anki, episode 10. And there's two main things that stuck out to me in this episode. And the first one was, the explanation. Uh, I'll get into that later. But they also went into the power structure, and that was that every decade, because if you guys remember, this old Kishin guy that was mentioned last episode, so he has children, and amongst those children are 8 kids that inherited his power. And not just that, but like the attribute, like fire, water, ice, wind, dark, light, earth, whatever, stuff like that. 8 specific children, and I guess that's what Shiki is, and she could turn out to be with the attribute of fire. And it seems like his other classmates, 7, are children of Kishin. Maybe they're probably like siblings, I guess. And yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is the explanation of like why it's so long, like why this war has lasted for 1,000 years plus. And what it boils down to is that like I explained, is that every few decades at random, these kids that are born not only which are strong, but they're also the chosen ones, and they're extremely powerful. Like we saw in this episode, you saw an example of the Momotra guy pretty much getting defeated the instant that a single blast from Shiki's awakened form, instantly, defeated him, I guess. And that's when he was like tired and untrained. So imagine when he's like trained and everything, he's gonna be dangerous. And everyone else in that classroom too, when they master it and get older. So he pretty much says that's why it took so long. And my other question is like, who else knew about this? Obviously the Motor knew about this, but also I'm guessing the adoptive father that Shiki had knew about this at the time. Probably save Shiki because he knew like if he is captured by the Momotra at early age, there's no, like, they're probably just gonna kill him or something. And he just thinks killing a child regardless of race or whatever is wrong. That's agreed or whatever. So he takes Shiki and kind of raises him on his own, and I think he would have gone away with it if it hadn't been for that specific co-worker. Because that specific guy seemed like how it worked for so many years, because basically the guy that he looked up to chose only instead of his own flesh and blood, his family. So obviously that does something to person. So it's not surprised that he has a grudge. He has a grudge towards the guy. But from what it looks like, it seems like we're also gonna, as we go further and further, we'll also get introduced to a bunch of other captains, because so far we only met Shiki, the adoptive father, and the guy that was burned by Shiki, and the ones that we're fighting right now. Those were kind of the only people that we were introduced, but it seems like now we're gonna get introduced to a bunch of people, captains, and it seems like they're like specifically strong, and it'd just be interesting to see what kind of powers they have, because if you guys remember that the explanation from the girl, she said that each power kind of varies on the user, either their personality, their strength, or whatever, so it'll be interesting to see that. And I mean, we already kind of saw the Oni side of things, so it'll be interesting to see the Momoto side of things. And yeah, I guess we kind of saw that at the HQ that we briefly saw. It just seems like they run like a regular company, pretty much, if you saw the episode. But I mean, yeah, that was the whole episode. I guess, oh yeah, this like I said, this series has been reminding me a lot of Naruto, and this episode did too. So there's a girl, Mai, there that she's pretty much hiding out with, younger girl. Her parents got killed, and she's kind of giving her motivational speech, kind of how Naruto does. He's like, oh, don't worry, like, you shouldn't get sad, I know your parents died, but you have to, be strong, whatever. And obviously it sounds like Naruto, but he does what kind of Naruto does too. So when Naruto leaves a conversation, he just does that weird clap and says, that's my ninja way. Well, Shiki did the same thing, he did that weird clap, whatever. Then he says, it's my motto. So pretty much saying what Naruto means. And yeah, if it seems like this episode is heavily influenced by Naruto, so I guess here's one prediction I'll keep an eye out for, and you guys should too, and that is the girl. So we already know the building's gonna collapse, and so my prediction is that she's gonna get trapped by the building. Shiki's gonna be the only one that helps her and be like, even though you're a Momoto, you should be saved or whatever. And then from there on, she's not only gonna have a crush on Shiki, but she's gonna come to her realizing that like not all lonely are bad. And then I predict around episode 12 is when we see her like actively betray the Momoto, be like, yeah, this isn't right. I know that it's our duty to kill Oni, but like not all of them are bad. And there should be more. So yeah, that's kind of like what Naruto and Hinata went through. I feel like that's gonna happen with Shiki and this barrier girl or whatever. We see. But I mean, yeah, that was kind of the whole episode.
Show me the money.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole episode, especially the parts that like wowed me, I guess. But I guess we're just gonna play this game out and just talk. So, pretty sure 2 days ago, everyone knows Charlie Kirk that shot that at a talking event at Utah. This country it's sad that happened, but it's even sadder when you see a lot of people celebrate this. And I just want you guys to understand that he was a man who, at the end, he was a husband, family man. He was a good guy. But I mean, at the end of the day, he was just shot for what? Just opinions you didn't like. Like, he didn't have, he didn't hold office or anything. He was just, a guy who spewed opinions that at times were correct and sometimes it wasn't. And, it's sad to hear like, oh yeah, but he supported Gaza or whatever. No, it's just sad to see that America specifically kind of losing this humanity. Like now, all of a sudden, I know. Now all of a sudden, like we just don't care about human life. Not only that, but like people are actively celebrating that. And that's disgusting behavior. At least to me, it is. But yeah, it's just very sad to see what the country has been going through and what it's gonna end up going through after this. I'm pretty sure on Twitter, I just saw like his body got to Arizona yesterday, and right now they're like taking his corpse or to the grave, whatever. A send off, pretty much. And it's just sad to see America like this, and like innocent that someone like him had to be taken away. But that's just my opinion at the end of the day. And yeah. But I think I'm gonna end it here. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.